here is where you see the cap on the canvas head. And here I am just separating each chunk of hair into 4 smaller sections. 4. So here I am just showing where I interloop that first one. Here I'm just basically trying to show you the pattern that I go in to fill up this cap. But I do want to say, with this method that I used, I ended up with the hair being too bulky and I had to take a lot of it out towards the end. So I do recommend using less hair, or not even less hair, less pieces on the crochet cap. So what I did is I went 4 pieces deep at a diagonal. As you can see, I pretty much skipped every loop. So I'll show you here. Here's one, tying it, and then I'm going to skip one hole and go on to the next one. Again, so you're basically going to skip a line, if that makes sense. Skip a netting line, and then you're going to tie it on that next line, going up into a diagonal. So you'll see again here, I'm going to skip that line and then tie it on the next one. And with doing that, you're going to end up with it kind of in a brick pattern, like you would if you were like braiding that brick pattern. And what I did was I did 4 rows and 4 pieces per row. And what I found was toward the end, it was super bulky and I had to take all of it out. You're not gonna see it at the end of the video when I show you the end result because I had already taken it out. But this is me with that one section. So 4 pieces of hair in each row, and I have 4 rows. And then it makes a diamond shape, and I just twisted it up into one big bunch. And this way, adding separate pieces, it allows you to cover more net, and it doesn't leave as many spaces in between the hair as you would with just doing one big piece over a whole bunch of netting holes, if that makes sense. So here I'm just showing you the same thing, skipping that one line and then tying it again. But this is just me showing you that I'm filling up the front part on that band, because you can add hair to that band. You can pretty much fill up the net wherever you like. Like I said, depending on what kind of hair you have, what density, what texture, that all plays a role, and how many pieces of hair you will put in each row. So I'm just taking down the hair. Right here, I am going to show you that I cut some net from like a weaving net that you can get at the beauty supply store, and I'm adding it to the front part of this lace, where the 2 pieces connect in the front around the band, only because I don't plan on cutting this band this time around as I normally would when I put it on my head and crochet it in. With doing this, I plan on being able to remove this wig whenever I like, actually. I really love this wig because it came out So good. But right here, I'm just showing you how full it is. This is a lot of hair. Right here, I'm just adding in, I guess you can say edges, but it's mostly just pieces so that I can tease them up around my edges to fill it in more. And basically they're really small pieces that I'm just adding to the perimeter. So now I'm just gonna cut off this little lace part at the front. And here I'm showing you where the band is and where I added that little piece so that when I cut, I don't have to cut all the way to the front and that lace will still be covered with hair. You'll see what I mean. See here how it's open, but the front part is closed up. And it's gonna allow for the band to stay completely on. So I'm just showing you, like, I actually slept on it. I actually slept on it. Don't laugh. But yeah, here's I'm showing you where this little piece is, where you can see the net. I just tucked it under and then I just went ahead and bobby pinned it, teased it up, and as you can see, that band is still intact. It's not rolling up or anything because I didn't have to cut it. And look how natural this looks. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do my edges, and let me tell you, my edges are super hard to lay. Like, okay baby, I got 4C edges and this hair just, it complimented my edges. Okay guys, so I'm back. I went ahead and got myself together. But so this is the hair. I just have the edges tied up. As you've seen me tie them up. These are my edges. This is the band here. Band here. Bands here. I sewed on that little net piece so that there was no space here, because if I was to cut the lace, it would have tore the whole cap apart, like a previous one that I did. Ended up cutting the lace all the way down. It ended up splitting it apart, and then the band just basically deteriorated and just, yeah, it just wasn't good. But with this, I'm able to take it off when I want. Like I said, up here, it's just those two pieces of the band where you have to tuck them underneath, and then you pin it with a bobby pin. When I tell you guys this hair was this freaking big and all the way down here, my sister had to help me cut it. We were cutting on it for about 2 days. I cut it and then I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. And then I went to sleep and I woke up and it was like still huge. I ended up cutting length off the back. I said this band is here, but I'm not too worried about that because sometimes I just go like this, and it'll be like that. I'll pull some pieces down. It'll make it look a little bit more realistic. There's my part. For my base, honestly, it's toe up from the flow up underneath there. But I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon.